What's going on, guys? It is Greg back, not in the garage, in You Pull and Pay, looking for some car parts. So now, came up, the only car I've seen so far, and I've been here for like 10 minutes, is this 3.5 Cabrio. It's a 2001, and everybody loves chrome door handles, so I'm going to pull that. This is a rare that you rarely see the textured two-door door cards to match. It has a dimple dash. I'm not here for any of that stuff right now, but I will grab the door handles, and that's about it. I think somebody rated all the switches, which is usually the case. Yep, I rated all the switches, and there's black visors. I'm not gonna even deal with that. I'm gonna grab the handles and then continue looking for another 2.0 Mark III. I see a lot of Mark IVs, ton of Mark IVs. There's always a lot of Mark IVs out here. Hardly any Mark Vs. I've only seen one, a couple of Mark VIs. Mark IVs, they're all over the place. Can't find, no, only one Mark III Cabrio that I saw so far. Oh, I found another one. I'm gonna go check it. A lot of Beetles, a lot of Mercedes. If you guys have been with the channel for a while, you know there's a Mercedes wagon that I want to get from a guy down the not too far from me. And look, there's parts just sitting here waiting for me, but if the guy doesn't sell the car, can't do nothing about it. So let me go check this Mark III that I did see. It is suede silver, the OG color of the Smurf. There it is. It looks to have everything that I need, so let's hope I can get the suspension off and the tires off. Oh no, there's another Golf. I'll check the Golf too. Check the Golf first. It doesn't look like it has the tires on. Then I'll come back and check this Jetta to see if it has the parts that I need. All right, so as of right now, it looks like we are golden. The suspension is just held on here by our tie rod. Once that's off, let's see if I can get the axle nut off. Hopefully, because there's nothing here to hold it. If I can, I'll be good. If not, I'm screwed. I'll have to come back with more tools. To know how or why they would put a bolt through there and then bend them. Are they doing this to make sure nobody came back and took the strut? That's weird. Well, I have my big wrench here. Hopefully I can bend it back just enough to get the struts out. The bolts out. Now I can take the strut off and take the hub. This is very random. I've never seen this before. Weird. Made quick work of that. So what's your plan? Sorry, dude. You can have your struts. Now I just need to split the bottom, those 3 bolts there, and then the tie rod, and then we have our piece, this hub. Seems good. Yeah, let's go. Okay, so I got this part out, so I don't want to have to pay for an axle. And I seem to have forgotten the nut for the axle, and I can't separate it for some reason. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stash this part, come back either later on or tomorrow and pick it up, bring the right nut size, and then have my knuckle. That's the part that I need. And then the blue car Smurf will be rolling straight. So let's go around and see what else we can find in the meantime. Alright guys, so back home. Now I'm gonna jack up the Smurf, get this wheel off, get this hub assembly out. That way, if I go back later today, I can pick up the new old hub and swap it out. And we'll be golden on this side, and then the car will be decent. I got a message from a guy who said he totaled his Jetta like a week ago, and he said if I still have it by next week, he wants to come pick it up. So we'll see. But I still want to have the car ready just in case somebody wants to come and scoop it up. So I'm gonna swap that, get that part out, probably drive back and grab the hub with the right socket. That's the one I forgot, obviously, and get it pieced back together. That way it drives smooth and straight. So yeah, let's get started. How to change your hub assembly without a press. Alrighty guys, so we're here going to break the axle nut, which is a 30 mil. The easiest way to do this, if you already took the tire off and the car is already jacked up, I normally just stick a flat or Phillips screwdriver in between the, oh, this one's a little too big. This one, too big also. Oh, now all of a sudden I can't find any of my small screwdrivers. Anyways, I stick a screwdriver in between the caliper into the vented part of the rotor, and that locks it up. That way you can crack the axle nut. So we'll crack the axle nut, we'll get up here, undo the two, I believe these are 18 millimeter nuts and bolts. And then we'll get down and start taking the rest of the suspension and the brakes off so we can get this hub out. Getting ready to swap in the new, brand new, well, brand old, new to us unit to take care of the wobble. As you can see, it wobbles pretty good. All right, got a screwdriver in. As you can see, it locks it up pretty good. I'm gonna try it with the impact first, see if that gives us any headway. If not, we're gonna use brute power with a wrench, ratchet, and the pole. Let's see. Headphone users, mind your ears. That was easy. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do to the hub that we saw at U-Pull, because I forgot the 30 mil. We had to come home and get it, but I'm gonna take care of this, and if I have time, I'll go back and grab it. Axle nut is off. Now, normally, I'll put this back on just about there. That way, if I need to hit it to break it loose, break the axle loose, you're not hitting just a thread, because the thread will get mashed and then the nut won't go back on. But if you put the nut in here and capture a few of the nuts, then you can hit it without any fear of mashing the axle nut. If you're gonna replace the axle, then I mean, by all means, who cares? And beat the hell out of it to get it out. But if you're gonna reuse it, put the nut on and then hit the nut. Trust me, it'll save yourself a lot of pain and heartache. All right, so we have the two bolts up here, which are 18 mil, as you can see there, 18. And then the two that are on that'll hold the caliper onto the carrier caliper bracket are 17s, top and bottom. Take those two off, the whole caliper assembly will pull off. And then I believe down here, it's not a 17, maybe an 18. No, it's a 19. 19 for the tie rod, and then a 13 for the three bolts that bolt the, let's get down here and show you guys. Down here, those are three 13 mil bolts that hold the ball joint into the lower control arm. Can you guys see right there? Yeah, three of those. With all those removed, this thing will just plop out. So let's get started. Caliper's out of the way. Rotor comes right off. As you can see, it's snapped. Okay, so braking development. I tightened the nut just to double check to make sure. I tightened the nut and there's no play at all. I mean, that's play in the suspension because those bolts are loose, but there's no play in this bearing now at all. So maybe it wasn't bad and just whoever did the axle job prior didn't tighten the nut all the way. Well, that seems to have saved me money. but not time. Let that be a lesson. When you find an issue, just double check. But that way you're not running around all town. It's a good thing I didn't buy that piece because they don't do refunds. They only do exchanges. And that would have been a pain. So I'm gonna put the rotor back on, a couple of the wheel bolts, see if I can get it to rock. If it doesn't rock, then it gets torqued and then the front end is good. That's strange, real strange. That somebody would tighten the axle, well, put the axle in, but not tighten it. It's a little weird. Okay, top suspension, just held on by the one bolt there. That way it doesn't move. And this is sturdy as it's gonna get. So, in conclusion, this side, all it needed was the nut to be tightened from the axle, and it's perfectly fine. Weird, but not weird. Sometimes people do work, and they don't finish, and they don't torque everything, and they don't tighten everything. But we're good. Didn't have to spend the money on that. So, the front end on this car is good. Pretty sure it's this side. I will, can't go check this side, but I know it's not this side because this side on my car is the one that is bad. Well, I'll jack up this side and double check, but I'm pretty sure that's the fix, was just tightening the nut. Come on, man, when you guys work on cars, dot your T's and cross your I's and all that good stuff, because that, although not a huge issue, I mean, it can cause a problem. Once that bolt, that nut is loose, the wheel can do this and is vibrating, and that can wear out the bearing or cause your car to just, you know, your car's just wiggling down the road, and that's never good. So, I'm gonna go grab a quick snack, and we'll come back to put the car back together. All right, a few minutes later, everything is back together. Everything is nice and tight. No wobble. Interesting. Well, put the wheel back on and let her down, and then one crisis averted. So beyond looking into the engine and all that, the car is ready to go. I still want to take off the rear door panel and check that window why it's so tight, but other than that, the car is good to go. Hopefully next week to buyer, and then, you know, it is what it is. This car is not bad, like I've said. It'd be cool to do a, you know, maybe a swap or something. And it needs paint, that's for sure, because this paint is pretty terrible. But other than that, it's not bad for the price. I mean, it's just a beater to beat around, or if you want to take on the project of refinishing it, knock yourself out. It is what it is. I mean, the car's not terrible. Runs and drives, AC works, so yeah. Like I said, there's a little bit of camber wear starting to happen. And probably from when the car was low, the alignment wasn't done properly. But as you can see, the tires still have plenty of meat left, and they're pretty much like this all the way around. Federals, I forget what size is it. 195, 40, 16. Not terrible. Not my first choice. Wouldn't be my first choice in wheel, but I mean, they roll right and they're not bent up and banged up. They are dirty though. But overall, car's not that bad. See the suede, silver, what the car was originally. Dog vlog portion of the vlog is weird. I should have recorded it. One bird landed, sort of went after it. Couldn't reach it, obviously. And it started chirping. You can hear it. There they go right there. Called for his homeboy. That one flew down. They started chirping, sort of backed up, and then they flew off into the tree. Can't be scared of birds, man. You're a dog. Dog. Right, Soda? Right? Just not. That's all she wants to do is jump on me. Go run and play. I got you now. Oh, freak. fast. He's too fast. Okay, let's walk, get it. Slick. What's going on, guys? Greg back in the garage to continue this week's vlog. Well, it just poured like literally 20 minutes ago. Downpour, streets are flooded, and now a few minutes later, sun's out, perfect skies. Florida, what are you gonna do? All right, so on the list for today, door handle that was broken. Hector brought me an old one. So this is gonna take the place right there. Once I put the spring on it, I gotta put that spring back in it. I can get this bolted up, then the door can open from the outside like it's supposed to. And then this car is pretty good to go. Like I said, if somebody buys it before I even start to mess with the motor, that's fine. If not, then in a couple weeks I'll tear into it, maybe. But for now, the outside is good. The wheel bearing on the driver's side I thought was bad. It was just that the axle nut was loose. Remember, always torque your stuff. Always torque your stuff. So that's fixed, and that's about it. And then today, a guy that I met at the Air to Water show, he said he wanted to relocate his battery in his Mark 4 GTI, something like that. He's on his way over here now. We're gonna do that. Hopefully it doesn't rain in the meantime. Although let me see, I think there's dark clouds coming. Nope. Everything looks clear down there. All right, so we should be good. It's perfect because we have the shade now. It's a little bit humid, but hopefully it'll cool down just a little bit. So let me get this door handle in and get this situated. I still need to go back to the junkyard. I need a plate tub for this car, and that's it for now. I think, yeah, that's it. Everything else on the interior is in one piece and looks pretty good. Oh, I need to find that dash piece there. So once I find that, then the interior and everything else will be good. So let's get this door handle in and get this car tidied up. Door's fixed. Today will probably be a good day to swap out the pressure switch in the tank as well. Yeah, might as well. I have the time. Mark 4 things happening here now. So we'll have a Mark 3, 4, 5, and 6. Mark 4 things have started. We got Jamel here. We got you drinking. What you drinking? What you drinking? What you drinking?
Watermelon.
Drinking watermelon. He got him. We just started. We're gonna move the battery from here into the back. I already took the battery out. See, it's hanging out over there. So basically what we're gonna do, I don't know if we showed you this when we did Christians or not. The main wire coming off the alternator comes to the battery cable here and then goes into the OEM fuse block. We're gonna take this cable off, put an end on the alternator cable, connect it here, and then run the one that's he already ran, thankfully, from the back to the front. We're gonna connect that one with a lug over here as well, and that is gonna give us our power for the back, and then we do our connections in the back, and then we are good to go. All right, so we have the battery here getting ready to go in right now. Just wanted to clean it off since it's gonna be visible for now. Got the battery tray mounted up nice and sturdy. So gonna mount that one here, make our connections for the positive side, find the ground. The ground I'm gonna grab off of the seatbelt bolt underneath there, I believe. And then we'll be done with the back. Then we just have to connect the wire up front, and then we'll be all good to go. All right, so in the trunk, or hatch rather, undid the seatbelt bolt. I like using the seatbelt bolt because it is a direct chassis ground, and I had to cut a little notch in the ground cable so we can go around it, kind of like Well, you get the idea. It'll go around that. Put the bolt back in, tighten that down. We'll have a ground up here at the battery. Then we go back up front and connect the power, and then donezo. Not too bad. Not too bad.
For real.
Battery is there. Battery box to come soon. Extra cables down there. Everything's back in one piece. Boom. Next week, in a couple weeks or whatever, we get a chance. There's some wiring in there we're gonna clean up, and then some wire covering to cover that, and then be good to go. And then maybe clean your engine bay?
Yes.
Okay. And then spray it down, wipe it down, it'll look brand new in here.
Yes, it needs to
and it'll be good.
Whew.
All right, well, Math's plugged in. Now let's see if she starts back.
Right.
Which, pretty sure she is going to because she already did. Well, that's not good. All right, so had a small hole in the back of the intake manifold. So small, you're not even gonna. Right up underneath there. Right underneath here. The car was sounding like it had a big old cam in it. So we're hearing the air just sucking. I'm like, man, what is that noise? Vacuum leak? We didn't disconnect nothing. Stuck my hand back there and felt the air just being sucked in, sucking my finger in. Painter's tape. Idling smooth. So he's got to go get another intake manifold or repair this one, but it's idling smooth now.
Yes, much better.
Yeah. Right. So OEM M5 wheels. What is it? 19 by 9, 19 by 8 in the front. Like new rubber. They've just been refinished. These wheels are for sale or trade. Or trade for something that fits a Mark IV a little bit better. These wheels are for trade, as you can see with the offset. They poke. Let's say 1800 with the tires. 1800 with the tires. OEM M5 wheels with the cap still on. You see the M. We're not playing around out here. Bottom man's wheels. Hit me up in the comment section if you want them. And hit me up on a DM or Instagram. If you want the wheels or you know somebody who wants the wheels. OEM, BMW, M5 wheels, 1800, or trade for something that'll fit on Mark IV even better. Let me know. Hit me up in the comments. Alright, so we ran into an issue. Not really an issue, but it's a problem. He bought 4-gauge wire with which normally would work, except certain companies, they give you the jacket is 4-gauge, but the wire is like 12, and that's the problem we're running into. The wire is not carrying enough amperage from the back to the front. Put the battery back in the front with like a foot of cable, car started up no problem, like a brand new battery. Battery in the trunk with the extra distance, it won't even turn over with 13 volts at the battery. So next weekend, wire, the right wire, and some stuff to spruce up the engine bay, and we'll take care of all of that and have this car looking good underneath the engine bay.
And running right.
Ooh, and running right. Oh, and the hole in the intake manifold.
Yes.
We gotta fix that too.
We're gonna get that taken care of.
Oh, it's been a long day. It's been a long day. The sun is down. I don't even know what time it is. It's probably like 9 o'clock right now. Ugh. The jobs, I'm telling you, sometimes the jobs that are supposed to take the shortest amount of time, they throw you a curveball, and then we're here, man. I'm probably good. Oh, I'm gonna go drink a beer, take a shower, hang with the wife, play with the dog. That's the plan, right? That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. So if you like the content, hit the subscribe button. Tell a friend if you like the videos. Shoot me a thumbs up. That goes a long way. And we will see you next time in the garage. Peace. Say bye.
Peace.
Perfect.